consideration the jump on the X.
Okay. The equation would be y equals 3x plus x is 0, 3x plus 6.
I mean, I guess it's possible you could choose the wrong number, but yeah, that's perfect. 56 is really, really similar.
Okay.
So go ahead and do the same thing for that, please.
Y equals 5x minus 4.
Yep. And then I guess if you really were struggling, you could check the points. Yeah, you could check a few other points here. So yeah, I'll just throw that out there. So 57. Have you done some of these already? Is that what you're just picking the ones you haven't done yet, or what's the
I actually haven't done most of them yet. I just kind of like going through and seeing what I have and have not done.
all right, so the graph below shows, oh, I'm sorry, I need to grab that graph. The graph's actually the main thing. You don't even need the question. You got to find the slope. It's really a rate, a unit rate.
Okay.
So it's the y over the x.
Okay. And that looks like it is going up by going up by
Are you using
3,
my
which means
screen or are you?
30 over 2, so 15 over 1.
It's the y over x. 15 over 1 looks okay to me. But you need units.
Okay. So then units would be 15 calories per 1 chip.
Yep, per chip maybe. Okay, good. Okay, so 58. You gotta be careful about the form that they're asking you for the problem in.
Okay.
This one is the slope intercept form. I mean, there's a few forms, but that's something to be on the lookout for. If they give you a different form, make sure you're using the right one.
All right. Slope intercept form. So it looks like it starts at 2. It looks like it goes um, down 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 1, 2, 3. So y equals negative 5/3 x plus 2.
Looks correct. Yep. All right. Any questions on that? No questions. Okay. All right. So I've been doing this with a few students here. You already know how to do this, but like a table could help. It also helps to organize the answers as well.
Okay.
The y-intercept is when you're putting X, zero in for X intercept is putting zero in for Y.
Right. And then if y is 0, x is 4. And then if x is 0, y is negative 12.
Okay. All right. Same thing over here. Or you can do them as ordered pairs, 0, comma,
Yeah.
0, either one.
Then
Good.
60 y equals negative 12 again, and then x equals 12/5.
Okay. All right. Any questions on that?
I don't have any.
Okay. All right. Same thing for 61 and 62. Just put those up here. These are in standard. Well, the one on 62 is in standard form, but essentially the same thing. You're putting zero in for X, zero in for Y, filling in the table.
All right. Doesn't sound too hard. Okay. And here. Trying to think. So then 9, or I'm not doing 62. I'm doing. So then x would be so 0 for y, um, negative 12 over 8. So the negative is that 12 over 8 is and then for y, take out x and y, then you get 3. So then so 0, 3, and then
For which one?
for 61, take out x, you get 0, 3,
Okay.
and then for y, take out y, um, x is negative 8 over 12. No, no,
That's
negative
right.
12 over 8, which
Okay.
is um, negative 4/3.
Okay.
Okay, and then for 62, x is take out y, or actually take out y. Yeah, take out y, and you get negative 24 over 9 is negative 8 over 3, and then you take out x, you get um, just 4. Yeah, you take out x, you just get 4.
Okay. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Okay. And you can always ask me for more like these if you feel like you don't have enough.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, they're looking for words here, independent variable, dependent variable. They're looking for words, not a letter. Like X and Y is not correct. They want to know whether money predicts time or time predicts money.
Okay. So then the independent variable is um time and the dependent variable is money, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Okay. So, you can call the function now. I guess you gotta use function notation. So f of x, that's y. Um, what tells you how much money you make per time work for your per time when you have time as the input variable?
Um f of x equals 15x or uh yeah 15x,
Okay. And then what is f of 4? That's what they're asking for.
60.
Very good. All right, let me grab the next problem here. Are you allowed to use a calculator on this test?
Yeah,
Like a graphing calculator or just a
just a regular cat.
regular function? Okay. Data in the table below shows the amount of taxes to be paid by married couples filing joint return for the given year. Okay, we don't care about that. They're asking you to determine the regression equation. Like, um, did you write the equation for me? I know it doesn't ask for that, but like, did you write the equation? Tell me what goes where. Just make sure that's clear.
Yes. Let me see if I. Oh, yeah. So y equals 1.889 point, or just 188.19 x um, minus 2,149.48.
Okay, very good. Now, the practical meaning of the slope is is like uh it's a
So
sentence that says what the slope means.
yeah.
It's
So for
it's it's basically
every,
there you
I
go. For
think for
every
every 10,000 tax dollar, for every ten
that one
thousand
thousand
plus tax dollars you pay,
additional.
$188 more.
Yeah. Yep. Wish that were true. It's actually a lot more than that. It's not linear. All right. Oops. Now you can't see my screen. All right. The next question here is the y-intercept. So they want you to explain like what does x equals 0 really mean in this problem when x is 0? What does that mean? That means you make how much money?
You make no money and you pay $2,149
Well, it's
48
negative
cents.
though. It's negative though, which is a little weird, but actually in our tax system, you do get money back if you don't make any money. Weird. There's tax credits, there's deductions, stuff like that. So it's not a great system, but that's a different class. Um, you're looking for something that says negative 2,149.48. The y-intercept is actually down there where it's negative. Is that clear?
Yeah,
Okay. Before we do the last problem, um, 20 really means 20,000 in the X column. 30 really means 30,000 and so on here.
yeah.
And if you use the value in the problem, like they're asking in C here, you have to convert your um you have to convert here. So you can't use 52,000 in the equation is my point. What would you convert that to?
52.
52. Good. Okay. I'm going to step away for like 30 seconds while you calculate this with your calculator. And I'll be right back. Okay, what did you come up with for tax?
I got $7,636.40.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Any questions on that before we move on to the next part of the question?
Nope.
Okay. All right, next question. And you mentioned before, you've only sent over a couple of things. We're definitely gonna need more problems to look at. Move through things pretty quickly here. Okay, they give you the calculator output here, and they want you to write the equation of best fit. So they're trying to distract you. Let's have you round to two decimal places for me on this one.
Okay. So then y equals 0.36x plus 52.64.
Didn't hear the negative. There's that negative in front.
Yeah, that was a negative.
Okay. All right. Good. And then they could give you an X to find Y. They're doing that. They're actually find Y of 12. You do that for us, please.
Yeah. So then 36 times 12 is plus 48.32. 48.32.
All right. Very good. Now they could also give you a Y value to find X. They don't typically do that, but that's another possibility. Describe the slope of the equation you created. So there's a couple things about slope. One is whether it's positive or negative.
Yep. And then if it's a strong or weak correlation, right?
Well, it's not even asking that, but yeah, I mean, you can go positive or negative. That's related to correlation here. You can tell me whether
Yeah.
you think it's strong or weak.
So it would be a strong positive correlation.
Slope is negative though.
Oh, sorry, strong negative correlation.
Okay, it's good. All right. Do you know if I'm gonna snip this in here. There's a question here at the bottom. Is that related to this graph or is it unrelated?
Um, Let me look. I may be related to that. What problem is that? 109?
Oh, nine, yeah.
Yeah, that's for that problem. Okay, so then,
Really? Okay.
yeah, so the solution would be 3.5, negative 3.5.
Try again on the second one.
3.5 and negative 3.5. Or
It's
negative 2.5, negative two and a
yeah,
half.
okay. So let's call this equation one. That's equation two. I would use for the first one, I would use the y-intercept and the slope.
Yeah, that's what I'm just gonna do. So
The
then,
second one, you can do the same thing if you want. You use the y-intercept and slope. But oh, and they want them in slope-intercept form. So there we go.
yeah. So, for equation one, it'd be y equals negative 2x plus 5. And for equation number two, it would be y equals x minus 6.
All right. Thing though, when you solve this, it better work out. And just kind of looking at it, I'm not sure it does. Oh, no. What is ordered pair? So it says which ordered pair. Is there a Is there a multiple choice that I'm not seeing?
Um, not that I can see. I
Okay.
don't know why it says which of the following.
So I think you're gonna find when you solve this though that it's not gonna give you what you want here.
So that
Trying
means
to,
one of the equations is wrong, right?
yeah, it's really hard to tell. It really looks like that one on the bottom does go up on the top one. I think has a different slope than we're.
Yeah, it's if you look like towards the 6 on the x-axis, it doesn't go through the.
Yeah, so I think the top one is an issue as well. So I'm gonna say
Yeah, I don't know what slope that is. It's not a normal slope.
it's down 11, right 5.
Huh. Uh, and then the
Oh yeah,
bottom one would
and I'll
be
I'll check that and see if that worked on another thing here. It's hard to believe this was the intent, but yeah, this is not quite right either. Not sure. Um, Maybe check with your teacher on that one, what they had in mind. I have no idea. Doesn't
eh,
seem to be consistent with what I think.
yeah, that one's a weird one.
But we're ready for some more questions if you want to send them over.
Okay. And then for this one, the problems are kind of cut off, but we're supposed to graph the systems of inequalities sort of on.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get to that. All right. So 118, does that start?
What?
118,
Yeah.
118. No, what do the instructions say? To just solve or what are they?
Uh, yeah, just solve the systems of equations.
So, your options here are to graph, which I wouldn't graph unless you had a computer. Second is
I'd probably do elimination here.
elimination.
So then y equals negative, or y just equals 10, and then x equals 1/2. Then, then plug that into -2. That doesn't work. Oh, 2y equals 10, so then y equals
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, and then, so then x equals 3, and that works.
And you said X equals what?
3.
Okay. So sometimes I want you to present your answer like this.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I want it in a nice format.
All right. How about this one? This is kind of a more of a pure elimination type problem where you got to multiply both.
Okay. Okay, so I got x equals -7.
Okay. And then what equation doesn't really matter. Which one are you going to use to solve for the other variable?
The top one. So then y equals 3, sorry.
Okay. So now, and you should know this by now, but you can check it in the other equation. Hopefully it work. If it doesn't, you made a mistake. It's -3 times -7 minus 4 times 3. Does that equal 9? Yes, it does. And that's what you should do for all these. You should have a way to check them before you submit or turn this
Yep.
in. There's no reason for you not to walk out knowing you got every one of them right.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. New problem here. Don't be too discouraged by the decimal. It's only a 0.5. It's not a terrible decimal. But more importantly is you do have to multiply both equations by a variable. Because it's 0.5, I would tend to lean towards multiplying by 2, which means eliminating x. And what would you multiply the other equation by if you're eliminating x?
Um, I would multiply it by
The It's the other
probably
coefficient.
-2.
Nope. It's the other
Oh,
coefficient.
so if for the -3 if
-3, yeah. All right. So go ahead and multiply both equations. And you'll add them together. See if you can solve for that.
okay, when I do that, I get x is -5/2.
Really? Doesn't work out nice in that? That may be true. 10y equals 55 minus 9y equals -48. I got something a little, I mean, you're eliminating x though. Can you get solve
Oh,
for x?
I eliminated.
Well, I mean, you can multiply by 3 and 5, but then you got to deal
Yeah,
with.
I multiplied it by 3 and 5.
Okay, well, you certainly can do that. I wouldn't do that, but you could.
Yeah, so for I got 7 for y and then 5/2 for x.
Okay, well, that probably worked. It's just they design these problems done a certain way to help you navigate through them. Yeah, x is 5/2 as well. Okay. Um, next next grouping of questions here. I'm sorry, next question. Um, we worked on these the other night. I'm going to just have you try to set up the equation. If you need help with the variables, I can help with that.
Okay, so then c equals 2d plus 10.
Okay, say that one more time.
C equals 2d plus 10.
Okay, what's the other equation?
And then c plus d equals 73.
Okay, now for the first one, do you have any concerns about it? And sometimes it's good to like pick a number, like the number of cats is 10 more than twice the number of dogs. So if there's 5 dogs, you know, there should be how many cats? Well, 10 more than twice the number of dogs would be 20 dogs.
Yeah,
Does that work? Like, does that produce this in the equation? It does, but that's sometimes a good check. It's easy to write the wrong equation. So this is a substitution problem.
yeah.
Go ahead and solve this for us, please.
D is equal to 21.
How many cats are there?
Uh, so then plug 21 back in. 42, 50, there are 52 cats. And I can check that by, well, actually, I just plugged it back into that equation, so
Yeah.
it works.
The other thing that could happen on a problem like this is you might see, like, let's say it's multiple choice, you might see just the flip of them, B equals 52 and C equals 21, D equals 21 and C equals 52. Just be very careful, no reason to get it wrong once you've got the right answer. All right, on to some graphing here. We should have enough time to finish these couple. Okay. All right. When they're in standard form, the way to graph them is to graph the intercept. We've already done that a couple of times here. So could you find the x and the y-intercept of each, or you could solve for y. Now the advantage of solving for y is that you will automatically know which side to shade. There's not like a right or
Okay,
a wrong.
so
The
solving for y, um, so if I take out x, y is 3, and if I take out y, x is 6. Then 0, 3, and 6, 0.
you doing the second one or the first one?
Second one.
Okay.
And you would shade below, and it would be a solid line,
Why is it below?
because it's less than.
No, that only works when it's solved for y. Now it might be true in this case, but it only works when it's solved for y. That you can choose that. The
Okay,
correct way to do it is to test a point. Again, this one it actually works, but it doesn't always work like that.
right. And then for the second one, y is -1, so 0, -1, and then um, -2/3, -2/3, 0.
Okay. So
And
the other thing
then
is, yeah.
that would be above.
So which region is it? Is it the first, the second, third, or the fourth?
Um, it would be in the answer would be in the second region.
You seem uncertain about that. But yes,
And
that
then
is correct.
if I take a point like -1, 3, so then -1, so -3 plus 6 is greater than -2, yes. And then -1 plus 6 is less than or equal to 6, yes. But yes, it does work.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Any questions on real quick on graphing these? Because we actually don't have any more time to jump into other stuff.
No, I think I understand it pretty well.
Okay, we got a ton more lessons upcoming, so we certainly can